King Jesus, King Jesus. Okay. Hey, I got some bad news to report, and I know this is not a time for anyone to want to hear no evil, see no evil, or speak no evil. But I think my perspective on this issue is clear to me, and hopefully someone will be benefited. Israeli major newspapers, Arusheba, is reporting that the first U.S. Ebola patient dies. And it's a very popular article in the paper. It's been shared thousands of times according to statistics they posted. It says that Thomas A. Duncan, who became ill with Ebola after arriving from West Africa in Dallas 2 weeks ago, succumbed to the virus today, Sunday, reports Reuters. Duncan was fighting for his life at a Dallas hospital on today after his condition worsened to critical, according to the director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control. The Dallas hospital that admitted him did not recognize the deadly disease at first and sent him home, only for him to return 2 days later by ambulance. So, Thomas Duncan has apparently died, the first person to die in the United States from Ebola. All the other patients that came here with the Ebola virus, all of them survived. Now, it goes into his background. Thomas Eric Duncan says he traveled to the States to get married, and to a lady named Louise Trout, seen here in this picture. And they were a member of a church that prayed hard for them for his recovery, and he never did. So, you know, I don't really believe in coincidences. I don't think things just happen, especially in the United States. I think everything that happens in the United States is totally contrived. It's a false society. The people believe that they're living a reality, but when it's all according to a script, there's nothing spontaneous that happens really in the United States. It's all scripted out beforehand by these big Hollywood producers and writers and all of this. And you're supposed to believe that the false reality that is lived in the United States is spontaneous. And that's where you are at a disadvantage. Because it is no accident that the people who got AIDS and survived were white people. And the one person who has the subject of a lot of questions as to why he was even brought back here, he's the one who died. So my conclusion from this is that this is a targeted disease that's meant to affect black people inordinately in this country. So I think it is important that black people realize the position they're in and do everything possible in their power to not get this disease by getting healthy, by not eating meat or drinking sodas, taking baking soda to alkalinize your body, also taking vitamin C to build up your vitamin C stores, And I think those are some things that you can do to prevent yourself from getting the virus or Ebola. The other thing is that if you can get a supply of Combivir, Ziduvudine, or Lamivudine, and you could get some nano silver, which you can make, and there's videos to show you how to make it on YouTube. That's what you need to be doing, because these folks are serious. They've written out the script. They're planning it out worldwide, not just here in America, but all over the world. So you need to stop believing what they tell you to believe and use your own mind to figure this out. You know, can't nobody tell me that the perspective I have, that I see happening, is a false perspective. I'm not going to rely on what they tell me. I'm going to rely on what I see. And I saw them kill millions of black people in America using AIDS. And this is another planet disease. I also want you to notice in the aftermath of the death of this gentleman, Thomas Eric Duncan, that they'll never tell you how they treated him differently than they treated their white patients. What medicines did they give him that was different than the medicines they gave the white people? They're not going to tell you that. That shows you right there you can't trust them. You can't trust them. The other thing is a question in my mind. There are many, many more travelers between Europe and Africa than between America and Africa. The Europeans have a long legacy of colonialism, especially in West Africa, and they travel more back and forth to that area than Americans do, especially American blacks. So, but there's no Ebola reported in Europe, and none of the countries of Europe. So that tells you something else. You go by what you see and not what they tell you. Wake up. Wake up.